folks, and welcome to Meme of the Month. It's been a little bit, but we're back and we're ready to have some fun tonight. I am your host Danny, and tonight I am going to be playing Itzala Ithera, and you'll learn more about her later. And just beside me, we have a new friend joining us tonight.
Hi, I'm Joseph. You may know me from the Redacted Reports podcast. I am playing Jack Scarrington.
Excellent. And next up, we have Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie, and you see me on here occasionally, and I'm going to be playing Nostra Damus, whose nickname is Nos.
Beautiful.
I love this. Hey, I'm Tanya. Tonight I will be playing Sphinx. They are very mysterious.
And tonight we have our lovely GM, Alondra.
Hello, I am Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere. You've seen me here a couple of times before, and you may also see me occasionally over on Quests and Chaos. But tonight I'm bringing the chaos over here for these poor people to deal with. And we're going to be running a little meme. Do you want any more introduction than that, or should we just dive right in?
I think we should just dive right in. Anyone who wants to read the meme, it is in the bottom corner of your screen.
Yep. All right, let's we were laughing, getting a little silly beforehand. So now let's try to spook it up. With every passing month, the X-Mass forces edge closer and closer to the long-held historic boundaries of the Hallows. But all is not yet lost, for the Hallows has a secret weapon. A small team of elite specialists who pledge their lives and deaths and afterlives to defending the bounds of this, their spooky homeland. My friends, this is the Spirit Squad. As our game opens, the camera lifts and we see the dark, spooky forest filled with dead trees, with snarled branches that look like they should be silhouetted in front of a full moon at all times. But it's like 3 p.m, so we're not quite there yet. Camera pans over. There's a crisp breeze in the air. Cold little shiver runs down your spine. But is that mint? No, it couldn't be. This is a land of spices, of apples, of cozy hearths, of black cats, and of preternatural creatures. This is the Hollows. But all is not well here in the Hollows, as the X-Mass forces continue to edge closer and closer, trying to stake their claim to the ancestral boundaries. One of the hallmarks of the insurgent X-Mass forces are the large abandoned warehouses that seem to pop up everywhere they come in, filled with gifts and treasures that are then emptied as they're driven back every time. And we approach one of these shells, corpses of a storehouse that has now been graffitied over with sigils and symbols of the Hollows, reclaiming it for the proper homelands. And as we zoom in through a artfully broken window that has been carefully sort of, shaved down so that you don't actually hurt yourself when you're trying to climb through it, but it looks really cool from a distance.
Yeah.
We pan in and we see our team sitting on overturned boxes that once held tinsel and ornaments, which have now been appropriately shredded and shattered across the floor to add to the eerie abandoned vibes, preparing their gear. And in this particular case, checking on their potion stock. Everyone, you are refilling in preparation for your next mission, and you should all add 1 regular and 1 greater healing potion to your inventory as you make it into the as you have come to one of your secret caches to make sure that you are prepared for whatever you are next summoned to.
Sweet.
And as you restock your potions, reload your weapons, maybe do a little artful like cantrip flinging against the wall for target practice. Let's just do a quick little round and introduce the members of the Spirit Squad.
So there was one potion of healing and one greater potion of healing.
Yes, one regular and one greater. Let's start with you, Danny. We'll just go across the screen again.
So you see, it appears to be a woman in her early 20s. She is very pale. Her skin is a bluish tinge. Her hair is white. Her long dress is tattered at the ends in shades of gray. And she doesn't quite sit on her box. She's slightly out of sync with it. This is Itzala Ethera, and she is a ghost.
Wonderful. We pan past Itzala. She sort of like just gently drifts about 2 inches above her box. She reloads her gear. And we come to a much larger, more imposing figure. Joseph, please introduce your character.
So Jack Scarrington is a furbolg. He, if you could just glance at him, you might mistake him for a large scarecrow. He's kind of got like overalls on and a plaid shirt. And it's almost a mix between like Smokey the Bear and a scarecrow a little bit. He's got a sickle at his side, and he's got an orb in his hand that kind of reminds you of a jack-o'-lantern a little bit. That's his arcane focus.
Wonderful.
Hey.
As you check in with your pumpkin to see if you've received any new messages from your patron, we continue around the group. Katie, please introduce your character. What do we see?
You see Nos, who is appears youngish, like somewhere between 18 and 22, not real sure, but he's just got that kind of young, kind of like, oh, are you a bro? Ah, dang it, kind of energy. Black hair, slicked back, widow's peak, natch, and all of his gear, all of his tactical gear is black, and he's got several, patches from tours on the front line. All right, and he's kind of come into this unit from the aerial unit, so he's got a little bat patch right here, but he's just kind of cleaning and sharpening his rapier at the moment, just kind of like listening to nothing. You realize he does not have AirPods in, but he's definitely jamming.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
And as we pan past Nas, polishing up his rapier, please introduce Sphinx to us, Tanya.
You scroll your eyes over to Sphinx, and I think like the best word that would come to mind would be edgelord. Sphinx.
Oh no.
Excuse me. He's got that they've got that very practiced, like one elbow on the knee, trying to look all hardened, looking kind of world weary. Everything is very black, very very gloomy, but this is not a phase. This is who Sphinx really is. And they've got a light crossbow leaned up against their leg, and if they had a clove cigarette, they would be moodily smoking it.
Oh my god.
As we cast our eyes around this very picturesque group of highly trained posers, models, elite tactical squad.
Thank you.
Jack, you are actually the first one to notice. You're from near this area. You're a little more familiar with this particular area because your corn maze, of course, is really only a couple of miles away. That's how you got involved with all of this, was that first time that the insurgents made it all the way up to the borders, and we can never let that happen again.
Never.
You hear the sound kind of drifting on the wind, sound of a song, like a very spooky folk lullaby, the sort of thing that would definitely be over the opening credits of a Conjuring movie or something. But you also notice that there's something wrong with it. You've heard this song before. This is actually a pretty common occurrence around here, just like creepy voices whispering on the wind and shit. The problem is this song should always be in harmony, and you're only hearing one voice. And you know what that means. It means something has gone horribly wrong, and you all need to get to the river right away.
I don't know if you guys can hear the melody. There should be multiple voices. I only hear one. And I think that means we need to get to the river.
We need to get to the river.
ASAP.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Shoot.
That
guy.
Yeah, you gather up. Nos, you're not as familiar with this area. You've obviously been in the aerial unit a lot, so you've like flown over here a bunch, but this is your first time really down on the ground.
This is flyover country. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You all gather your stuff. You very carefully move the crates away from the doorway so you can slide through, and then stack them back in place to add to the creepy abandoned vibe. You know, we got to keep the aesthetic. It's a very important part of the war.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys head down to the river. It's about 2 clicks away. You all move very quickly, being that you are all supernatural creatures imbued with the power of the hollows. So it only takes you about 15 minutes. As you all get closer, you all start to hear this song, this sort of eerie lullaby on the wind. And every so often you catch that sharp, brutal wisp of peppermint cutting through the crisp fall air, breaking into the scent of decaying leaves and really unsettling you. And as you approach the river, you all take a look around. Everyone give me a perception check, because this is D&D and I should make you roll dice at some point.
I guess.
Let's see how it goes. Da-da-da-da.
That is 21.
Ooh,
17.
My goodness.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I'll tell you when the die stops rolling.
It's working on it.
19.
19. All right. Nos, this is a little early for when this is like the earliest edge of when you normally work. So it's still a little bright out. You're kind of getting your bearings. But it's all you are the first one to spot the source of this sound. A sound that, now that you are hearing it, is also somewhat familiar to you. As you see a woman in the river, or you see the part of a woman. You see like from like nose up. And then there's just this mass of long hair that is sort of like drifting around her on the surface of the water. And even though her mouth is below the surface of the water, this song is clearly coming from her. And she sort of glances around and spots you guys and just sort of like makes eye contact.
Well, Itzala doesn't like this. And, I want to use Gust to try and move the water away from her mouth to see what's happening here.
Sure. Okay.
So that's just a cantrip.
Yeah.
And she'll need to make a strength save or be pushed away.
Okay. Let me roll for her. Okay. You use this little gust, and you're not particularly trying to move her, right? You're more just trying to like
water.
Great. So you kind of push the air in, and it sort of like moves away. It serves 2 purposes. It pushes the water away from her mouth a little bit, and you see that her mouth is a little bit open but not really moving. But it also kind of pushes her hair back so you can just see her face a little better. She's an extraordinarily beautiful, if waterlogged, young woman. And as you sort of like push her hair away and push the letter away, she stands up, and her hair is very long. It's probably as long as she is tall, which is great because she's not wearing anything else. So it just kind of forms over her as she stands up out of the water, into almost like a form-fitted dress of
Nice,
hair.
nice, nice.
Alright.
Yes. Nice, nice.
She stands. She takes a quick scan. She looks at you and she quickly salutes. Private Verochka, Yaga Command. Are you the Spirit Squad?
Oh, hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Absolutely.
you tell?
Absolutely. Hi, nice to meet you.
Very good. As she starts speaking, and now she's actually speaking just using her mouth, you can see that there's probably a good reason that she kept it under the water, because she's got 3 rows of shark teeth instead of like
Hell
normal
yes.
human teeth.
Oh, yes.
But she looks at you and goes, "Excellent. I come with terrible news. The peppermint gnomes have broken through the boundaries.
Oh.
They have made it to the lake just north of here.
Gnomes?
Yes, you know, the little ones all made of candy.
Oh, gag.
I knew
What?
I smelled something foul.
Gross.
It gets worse than that. My sisters and I, we work with the Yaga Squadron as advance team. Yes, we go into the lakes and the rivers, lure them in, drown them, dissolve them, get rid of them.
Mhm.
But they are doing something different this time. They dammed up the edge of the river. We were trying to take it apart. Well, I was trying to take it apart. Marishka and Alenka were dissolving gnomes at the other side of the lake. They have a frost mage with them.
Oh, shit.
Throws over the lake.
That's not good.
They never send the mages with the advanced teams. Something is up.
Mm.
So, Commander Yaga sent me to find you, said you would be in the area, could maybe go and assist with clearing out the problem, so that we can, unfreeze lake and continue destroying gnomes.
I like this plan. Sounds good. Yes, we should definitely listen to the wet lady. Absolutely.
We
About how
definitely
far
should.
from here?
If you follow river up, probably another 3 miles.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like a job for us.
You accept this command?
Yes.
Of course.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
My sisters and I thank you. I'm unfortunately not going to be of much help, but I can travel up the river with you until you reach the lake.
Excellent.
Cool. Yes. Cool.
Everything all right with this? You're new. You are a new transfer, aren't you? I have not seen you before.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's from
Hi.
the aerial unit.
Oh, got it. Okay. You just seemed a little, how you people say, fish out of water.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. More of a kind of urban response team kind of thing, aerial unit. Don't go out in the sticks very often. This one's new. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, don't worry, you will get used to it. Mostly. It's just lots of trees. And peppermint gnomes, apparently.
Okay.
But
Cool.
hopefully not for much longer. I hate those fuckers. Shall we go?
Yes, please.
Nas is following this lady. Yeah.
You see that she just sort of like sinks back down into the water until it's all just the top of her head and the hair again. The song begins and she just starts kind of swimming up the river.
Nas
Slowly
is
enough
not
that you
following this
fall.
woman in the water.
Sphinx is going to walk up behind Nos and kind of check him away from the river a little bit and kind of like put themselves bodily between Nos and the River Maiden and go, she would eat you alive and you wouldn't like it.
I would not be so fucking sure, my man. You don't know what I'm into.
I can assure
And she
you.
said sisters.
The death.
Sisters.
Death is not all it's cracked up to be.
Oh, I know. I've been there. Got the postcard. I came back. It's fine.
I mean,
I think we should get moving.
whatever does it for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Jack, you've probably met the Rusalka before. And yeah, they're fine as long as you keep your distance.
Yeah, they're not quite my thing. We get along fine. They protect the river. I worry about my territory.
That's pretty much all it is. So you guys follow along the edge of the river, and you can see as you travel, as you get further up, that everything gets colder, which is fine. You guys are fine with the cold.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not autumn cold. This is not crisp wind and rustling leaves. This is a damp cold. This is the kind of cold that comes with snow.
I don't
And
like
as-
this.
And you can also see, as you're moving up, ice chunks floating in the river. You see that Verochka is sort of having to like dodge around them a little bit, and her pace seems to slow as the water is also getting colder, until you step up to kind of the edge of where Jack, there will be a clearing for the lake. You've probably visited this lake before. You may have even used water from this lake for your corn maze. But you can see that the river is not moving the way it should. And as you come up to the edge of the trees, you can see why. The entire lake is frozen over. On the far side, you can see that the big scary trees are no longer the big scary trees. They are perfectly pristine evergreen pines with a gentle dusting of snow and twinkle lights wrapped around them, as a Christmas tree farm is starting to overtake the far side of the lake.
Oh,
And
hell no.
even worse
Ever.
than all of this, you see the candy gnomes ice skating on the surface of the lake.
Oh my god.
I swear to God.
Hordes of them. An entire squadron.
Oh my god, that's too many. I want to cast Create Bonfire.
Okay.
In the middle of the lake.
I'm so excited.
Okay. What is the range on cast bonfire?
That is 60-foot
60
range.
feet. Great. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to double check. Yeah, you can get that pretty close to the middle of the lake then. Let me roll to see how
it's
many.
a 2d8 fire damage dex save.
Cool. Cool. I rolled a die to see how many of the gnomes were going to be in that vicinity.
It's a 5-foot cube, but it will also start melting the ice.
Perfect. Okay, so you will potentially hit one of the gnomes, but you'll also be able to start melting the ice. What is the save for that?
17 dex.
Hey, absolutely do not make that. That was a garbage roll.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me some damage, please.
Okay.
No one expects a bonfire in the middle of an ice skating rink.
You don't expect it.
Nor should you.
That is a 9 of 9 fire damage.
Great. You pop off this bonfire, and you see one of these little peppermint gnomes just essentially bursts into flame and starts like squealing and melting as this bonfire just kind of pops up right underneath him. And you see a bunch of gnomes around him immediately look around, and they immediately start doing the scramble panic of like trying to see where this came from.
Hell yes.
I am going to allow you guys a surprise round. So the other three of you, if you each want to do something, you will have that. And then we will go ahead and roll initiative, as these gnomes are going to try to kick your asses.
Let's go. Let's go.
I mean,
So let's go ahead.
They can try.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative, and then I'll let everybody else who wants a chance to get off a surprise round.
That is a nat 1.
Oh.
Well,
Plus 1 for
Perfect.
2.
I got
Two.
a 2, which adds up to 5. So.
I'm
Those
gonna
are my
step
great
off.
rolls. I was to say, I thought I
Got
had
a
a blank sheet of
15?
paper, and I did not. Okay.
I also got a 15.
Who's got the higher dex between Nos and Sphinx?
I got a +3.
I got plus nothing to my dex.
Cool. So, order will be Sphinx, Nos, my guys.
My guys.
My guys.
Scylla, my other guys, and then Jack. All right.
So bonfire is concentration, so I'm concentrating on that.
Cool. So you were able to get that off Sphinx. What do you want to do for your
All right.
surprise round?
Well, first I'm going to use real dice because it could be 3 to 5 business days before my D&D Beyond dice work again.
Fair enough.
So I will be casting. Are the gnome? Did they scatter like cockroaches? Is there a group of them?
They have basically started clustering up. So what you see is they kind of all group together into about 5 small groups. It looks like this is like a planned tactical, like they are getting into formation for something. But they are now in little clusters of like 4 or 5 each.
Well, I'm gonna pick the cluster with 5 that is closest to me.
Okay.
And hopefully that's within 60 feet.
Absolutely.
And I will then be casting Cloud of Daggers.
God. To make a
in a
peppermint
cube.
milkshake.
Yes.
Great.
What do I have to do?
I was so worried that this fight would be badly skewed in the numbers, and I was correct in the best way possible.
10 to 1 sounds fair.
It doesn't look like they get a save or anything. It's just 4d4 slashing damage when they enter the spell's area for the first time. And when they start their turn there.
Yeah, I think they're just screwed, if I recall the gloriousness that is Cloud of Daggers.
Nice.
Cool.
2,
Nice.
5 and 2 is 7 and 4 is 11. 11 points of damage.
Great. Cool.
Nice.
They're gonna take one of these groups is definitely gonna take that at the top of their turn. I need to make notes for myself of where the clusters are. There's a bonfire, and now there's a Cloud of Daggers. Cool. I love that for me. Nos, what are you doing for your surprise round?
For my surprise round, let's see. Yep. I'm going to run up, if it is possible, to get within 30 feet of some of these gnomes.
I will say that the closest group to you, the 2 closest groups to you, are both 30 feet away. One of them does have a spinning cloud of emo daggers that is fucking them up right now.
I'm not gonna worry about that one.
But there's another group that is also 30 feet away.
Cool. I'm going to take out my short bow, and we'll see how bad I whiff this or if it works. I will take aim at one of the tiny spirally red and white motherfuckers and shoot them. And
Beautiful.
See what happens.
Go for it.
We'll just try that. Let's just see what happens when I roll this thing. Motherfucker. Okay, thank you. It was sitting on the edge between 19 and 1. It did a wobble. I was like, don't you dare.
It's my favorite place for it to be.
So it's a 23 to hit.
That will so hit the gnomes, the candy gnomes.
Hooray. I am so glad. So that will result in a whole bunch of little D6s. Plus sneak attack damage. It's a total of 22.
Holy shite.
Nice.
Yeah, you just fully like snipe one of these gnomes out of the cluster. Like they're all
Lovely.
like clumping together like peppermints in a bowl, and then one of them just goes pew and like flies out the back of the group, impaled on an arrow,
That's
gliding
excellent.
across the ice.
Because as my reaction, then I would like to stick my hand out and basically like a frosty mist just kind of off of the body and collects in my hand.
Yes, it crystallizes into like a little like fucked up peppermint.
Nice.
I forgot which type of rogue you were playing, and I'm very excited now.
Wait, what's your subclass again?
I'm a phantom. Dun, 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 dun.
Amazing.
And it's Ala. What would you like to do for your surprise round? Then we will go into normal initiative order.
So there are 3 groups that haven't really been hit yet.
Essentially. So if you're looking at a top-down map and you guys are on the south edge of the lake, there's 2 clusters that are kind of near you, about 30 feet apart. Then not about another 15 feet beyond each of them, think like points of a star almost. There's 2 more groups that are essentially untouched, and then the group that is the northmost on the other side of the bonfire. So they're about like 55 feet away total.
Okay.
They are down a person because one of their dudes got melted by the bonfire. So we've got a couple groups that are down members, and then we've got the one that's getting slurried.
So if I were to cast a 30-foot diameter, 30-foot radius, so that's a 60-foot diameter.
You will be
Yeah.
able to hit everybody.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, you
This-
can get everyone in that. They did not run far enough away yet because they haven't had a real turn yet.
So Itzala will hold out her hands and whisper, "Haunted." And this sickening green light spreads out into a 30-foot radius sphere. And it spreads around corners. There's no hiding from this light. They have to succeed Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy. Okay.
This
Let's-
is a sickening radiance.
Yes, very good. What is the DC?
16.
Cool. Let's see how everybody does. Well,
Like, how many saving throws are you having to throw right now?
so I'm rolling these guys in groups. I made my life
Oh.
easier. They
Okay.
function as little squads that have certain abilities that kind of trigger based on how many, basically however many are left in a particular group as you guys pick them off determines what they still have the abilities to do.
Okay.
So that was 3 groups pass and 1 group fails and 1 group nat 1.
Oh,
So-
okay.
They're particularly gonna have a bad time.
So the
Yeah.
fun thing is this is a concentration spell. So every round they're going to have to, when they start their turn, make the Constitution save. The ones that failed currently take 17 points of damage.
Holy moly.
They all suffer a level of exhaustion, and they glow in this sickly green light for a 5-foot radius around each of them, so they cannot be invisible.
They can't be invisible and they have disadvantage on saving throws. Cool. Great.
I also would have cast.
There's a
my,
reason we're an elite tactical squad.
Yep.
Zach. I would have cast my mage armor as one of my Eldritch invocations before coming up here. Which,
Oh, yeah.
As I do, a large pumpkin appears over Jack's head.
Yo, that's pretty great. It's pretty
Oh,
great.
it's so good. God damn it. Cool. You guys see a bunch of like glowing gumdrop gnomes start like freaking out because they're like swatting at themselves like they're trying to get it to go away and kind of like panicking a little bit over in the corner. They're having a rough time. And now we come to the top of proper initiative order. They have at this point had enough time to get their bearings and figure out where you guys are. So they have all spotted you. But you guys all got the jump on them. And you're very focused with all these concentration spells. Sphinx, it is your turn with Nos on deck.
Right. Well, I'm going to maintain concentration on my cloud of daggers.
Yes, good.
And I think that's gonna be it.
You
I
can
think I might
still
perfect like my pose a little though.
totally. You can still cast spells or things like that while you are concentrating, so long as it's not another concentration spell.
Oh, all right,
So-
groovy.
Or if you want to go up and like whack somebody with your like, you know, crowbar or your whatever your weapon of choice is.
Crossbow. I think I'll start
Yes.
picking them off. I liked that whole shoot 'em across the lake thing. So I'll get that.
Turning these candy gnomes
not
into
in-
lollipops.
Not in the Ginsu group, but in
Yeah.
one of the other groups.
You're easily within with your crossbow. You're easily within range to hit. You could shoot one out from the same group that Nos tagged.
11 plus 7 is an 18. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah, that'll hit. None of them have had time to get their mage armor off, so yeah, that'll hit.
1d8 plus 3. That is a 5 plus 3 for 8 points of damage.
Golly. You start decimating this little group over in the corner here. They are looking bad. And that's gonna bring us to Nos.
Well, let's see. I think I want to have a little fun. If that group that Sphinx just shot into is the closest to me, I'll try running up on them, and I'm gonna use my two-handed roguey attackies. So I'm going to swing with my rapier at one of these little minty mofos and see if I hit them.
Yup.
Which is debatable. I made an 11.
That hits because they haven't
Are you
had time
kidding?
they haven't gotten to cast their mage armor yet.
I thought maybe they're wearing little shell armor, but okay.
They do have a couple of them do kind of have like a little like candy coated shell over their chocolatey selves.
That's what I thought.
But it's not doing much for them.
Apparently not. Okay. So they will take 29 total damage.
You fully wipe out the
goodness.
squad. You just take one swing and cleave through like all the ones that are remaining. That group is completely out.
Well, shit. I kind of wanted to see what they tasted like. Damn it. Oh, well. That's my turn.
Great. God damn it. Okay. That's gonna be their turn. You see these little squads of the candy gnomes turn, and they're like, "Brethren, rise up! This is not the holiday spirit we are here for! Attack!"
But don't forget their saves.
Yeah, and then they're going to immediately have to make a bunch of saves. Pass, fail, pass, fail. No. 1 pass, 3 fails.
Of course.
I grabbed the dice I can't read. Nice. So everybody who's not in a cloud of daggers failed. How much damage is that again?
That is now 26.
Hold please, I have to do some math real quick.
Well, the guys in the cloud of daggers do have to make their
They also have
save,
to make
or
their
they do have to take the damage.
Yeah.
Do I reroll it every time?
Sure, why not? Unless you want to keep the same one. I don't care. This might be a 1-round fight.
Which just means we get to the very terrifying BBG.
10. This time they only take 10 instead of 11.
Oh no. That's a bummer.
Darn.
Okay. You see this group that's in the daggers sort of like clump together like a roll of Smarties, like lining up like they're getting ready to do something, they are the only ones not glowing at this point, but they are just getting shredded. And you see a couple of them like on the ends go down. The three in the middle are sort of like stealing themselves to try to like stay upright. Like we will, ow, we will, ow, we will, ow, ow, ow. Just a lot of that happening. Everybody else is now glowing, and you see them just start dropping, like all around. There is the group furthest back is still up, barely. Everybody else just starts literally dropping like flies. Great. I guess the ones that are still standing are going to make a noble attempt to do anything. So the ones in the back are going to turn, and the one of them is sort of centered and flings out his hands and goes, "How dare you!" And is going to sling this like minty ice beam in your direction, aiming probably for Nos, because Nos is the closest technically. And I have no faith that they're going to hit. Oh, maybe. That's a 21 to hit.
It definitely hits. It definitely hits.
Cool. You're gonna take 4 peppermint damage.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Oh, the minty chill.
Yeah.
It
And
hurts
you are
so good.
and you are slowed until their next turn, which I doubt
Okay,
they're going
Mofo.
to get.
Okay, look here.
Vicious mockery's my gig. Cool it, kid.
The other group that is still standing is going to summon 3 the one center is going to summon 3 gumdrops in his hand and yeet them at Itzala.
Okay.
And these automatically hit. Okay. So you are going to take 8 whole sugar damage as these gumdrops just sort of like plink through you, I guess.
That is a 24 on my constitution, so
you're fine.
Still concentrating.
Yeah.
It's like, did you find like the flaw? Like, what if they can't hit you? Do you get damage?
It just passes through, so you still take the damage.
It hurts on the way.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
I mean, sugar, it's real abrasive. It's
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You just don't see any spots.
Yeah, and now Itzala, that is going to be your turn.
Well, Itzala is displeased with that and is going to reach out her hand and say, "Tickle, tickle," and cast Chill Touch. So a ghostly skeletal hand reaches forward. Got 120-foot range, so we'll go for the back group.
Cool.
And that is, math is hard, 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And that is 10 points of damage.
They drop. I don't even get to do anything with that.
Oh.
I'm just now clocking that your character has catchphrases for your spells. Little creepy isms.
I hate this.
Okay. It's not scary at all. It's fine.
I don't know.
No,
this is kind of
good.
Yeah, I was to say this is kind of terrifying. Just
Yeah.
this sweet little
Just like
tickle. Like, oh no, that's not. No.
Oh my god.
You all see that they kind of start the like very few that are still on their feet are desperately looking around, like they're looking for someone or something, but you do not see anything happening. And that brings us to Jack's turn.
So how many little groups are left?
There is one little group in a cloud of daggers right next to you guys, or near you guys.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Kind of like,
And that,
hitting frogs in a blender. Just,
yeah. In that case, I would love to just send a couple Eldritch Blasts in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have two beams that are going to go for that group. One is where it's a 26 to hit,
Yeah.
and the other one is only a 15.
It still hits.
Okay. All right.
You
So
guys
there's one.
took out their shielding before they even had a chance.
All right. So that is a D10 plus 5 for each one. So the first one is 11
You
and 10.
you just send it into this little remaining group that's kind of like the Smarties group, and they just like shatter. Between the
So-
daggers and the force, you just slams it all together, and there's just like candy pieces scattered across the
It's
ice.
just a blast of orangey, like pumpkin spice mist that just goes and just.
I love the smell of cardamom in the morning.
so curious. Sphinx will be looking at the lake, admiring all of our handiwork, because truly we are elite. Is it still frozen?
The spot where Jack's bonfire is burning is starting to melt away a bit. But the lake itself is still frozen.
But it's still frozen.
Everyone go ahead and give me perception checks.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, did Nos clock any of the gnomes looking around, looking all confused?
You guys all, like, they were not subtle about it. They were frantically looking around.
That is a nat 1 for me.
Nat 1 for me.
Yeah.
You guys are
19.
basking in the glow of the pumpkin
watching the
spice
bonfire.
scent. Yeah.
The new guy got a 21.
Great. The other two of you,
Mhm.
perhaps a little more jaded about things. You start looking around, and Nasu got a 21.
Mhm.
You notice as you kind of look over toward the further side of the lake where the Christmas tree farm has popped up.
Yeah.
One of the like elegant snow drifts that is sort of like artfully now placed on the far edge of the lake. Looks like it's got maybe a window in it. It's that thing of like that angle where like if you're looking at it straight on, it's all just snow, but if you sort of like shift your angle, you kind of see the cut in of maybe like a window or some sort of opening. Like maybe there's a structure there. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got a base, you guys. I'm gonna like
Got
indicate
eyes?
over there. I got eyes.
About how far away is it?
If you cut directly across the lake, it's about 90 feet. If you go around the perimeter, it would be a little further than that. And the
90 is less than 120.
That is correct.
Nope. Vampires and moving waters. Nope. It's a nope. Nope. I'm gonna start.
I don't think that's what Sphinx is worried about.
I start stomping.
Now that Nos has pointed out the structure, would it be the same roll to hit the window area?
Can you move?
As it would be to just hit the structure?
Oh, you're just wanting to like just.
Okay. I will say that because you know where the window is, that qualifies as a target you can see. So if you're looking at a spell that requires line of sight, you could aim it through the window to hit inside the structure, as opposed to just landing something on top of. I'm assuming you're planning to try to wreck my shit with like another cloud of daggers or a fireball or something.
Just like a real, just a little firebolt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will say. Yeah, I will say for the purposes of spell language, you haven't seen like necessarily anything inside, but you can see that there is an inside. So I would say that you could aim it through the
So this would just sort of like be a, I'm just going to throw just a tiny little mote of fire.
I will give you that if there is someone or something inside, they will have cover. Because you cannot see them directly. But you can definitely aim it in there, and if you roll high enough and they roll shit enough, you might still hit them.
Oh god.
Which means I need to find...
7 plus 6 is 13.
7 plus 6 is 13.
Is what I hit.
Cool. Yeah, so you it's a firebolt.
Just a little bolt. Yeah.
Just a little bolt. Okay. Yeah, you fling some in. What you do see happens is what does your firebolt look like? Is it just straight up fire?
Honestly, it is it's a piece of candy corn. But it's the gray, white, and black candy corn.
Yeah, obviously.
What?
Obviously, for reasons. And it's kind of like a oink.
Just flick it like you're playing table football, and it goes zinging across the lake inside this window, and you see the little like flare of like smoke as it hits something. What it does do is you can now clearly, for like that brief moment, see this outline of this window, and you can also see an outline of like a door. Picture like if there was an igloo that then got kind of like smoothed over with fallen snow to look like a snowdrift.
Okay.
I would
And
love to
nobody
follow
runs
that
out
up
in a
with
panic. No little gnomes are like, oh, the sky's falling.
I would love to follow that up with my own firebolt if I could.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a 24.
Holy shit. Okay.
I'm so glad that I took a trinket because y'all ain't asking no questions. Damn. Okay.
Okay. Give me
2d10
damage.
Yeah. 6. No, 16. Sorry.
That sounds more correct. Cool.
Yeah.
16. You this time you do hear kind of a yelp. It's kind of faint, it's kind of muffled, but you do hear sort of like, ha!
I'm going faster now.
You're running around the edge of the lake, right?
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah.
I'll follow Nos around the edge of the lake because I'm assuming that it's going to start melting and it's going to be hard to cross. So I'll follow Nos around the edge.
Yeah, and you're continuing your concentration on your bonfire for like the full minute?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I have let the daggers dissipate.
Cool. I assume they all just sort of like reform and float back in, sheathe themselves in your very cool tactical pants or something.
Well, actually, since they're small daggers,
okay,
they are actually like they look like safety pins down the edge of my sleeve.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just weave themselves back in. Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God.
My favorite.
Edge Lord.
It's a whole lot of dedication to the aesthetic, my man.
Putting the edge in Edgelord. Cool. Itzala, are you staying put? Are you heading towards this and I guess Sphinx, are you staying or are you moving?
I feel like I'm gonna just go straight across the lake because flanking.
But maybe avoid the green that's still up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I can hold that for 10 minutes, so I'm just going to keep it up until...
Just hang on to it.
Until I need something else, because you never know. If someone runs into it, you can chase them out.
Okay.
So it's not moving, right?
It
I
is
can-
not. You can go
It is
around
not. Yeah, you could easily walk around the edge of this.
Okay.
It's just this like haze of like sickening green light with all these like shattered candy gnome pieces inside. Some
So
of
it's
them
not
are
a
starting
hazy
to...
shade of winter. It's a hazy shade of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like the inside of a laser tag place. Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That's it.
Anyway, you make your way towards this
Come on.
little igloo, and as you do,
Take a shot.
let's see. Have to find the correct thing. Let's see. Nas, you are in front.
Mm-hmm. Said
Uh,
the overeager guy with a AC of 11.
You know,
Oh.
thankfully, this isn't gonna matter for your AC, but I do need you to make a strength saving throw as tinsel garlands erupt out of the snow around you and attempt to wrap themselves around your legs.
For feck's sake. Look here.
Rude.
How dare 7?
7. Finally, I get one.
Dang it.
These like red and silver tinsel like erupts from the ground and just twines itself around your legs. So you are now restrained.
Awesome. Good. Great. I wanted this to happen. Yeah.
Jack, you are just far enough behind that you see this happen, but you're not quite within the range of this tinsel. But you do see a bunch of this tinsel that's now sort of like wrapping itself around Nos and like creeping out of the snow onto the ground.
It's sentient? Gag. No.
You're not sure, but it's moving.
You said moving.
Boy.
No.
Let's just keep our original initiative order because that's easier for me.
Yeah.
So I believe, yeah, let's just start at the top. Sphinx. I'll say Sphinx, and you also see this.
All right.
It's pretty obvious because it's this bright red tinsel in the snowy landscape.
There's bad manners. It's all around.
I like that everyone's just offended by like more than anything else. Everyone's just like, this is incredibly rude, you know.
I have
How
not
dare they?
seen
It's
enough
like
of-
when they put the Rudolph inflatable next to the Frankenstein inflatable before,
Yes.
like, it's just
Yes.
Yeah, stop
really
putting,
bad manners.
Stop putting the sleigh out next to the 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton. Let him
Just
have his
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, Lowe's. Talking to you.
I think sir, what I'm gonna do.
That was the familiar. Taking a check on
Sorry.
things. You're fine. Sorry, we're
My-
making you laugh
My
through your
familiar
cough.
threw a ping pong ball at me.
Ah!
I'm just gonna shout out nothing's gonna ground you, and I'm gonna give you inspiration.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
Which
Cool,
is
cool.
a D8.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Level 9. We've got spicy inspiration.
Dun, dun.
Pumpkin spicy. And that's going to be Nos's turn.
Oh,
You are restrained. You may attempt to use your action to make a strength saving throw to double checking if it specifies where in your turn. You can use your action to try to make a strength check to escape it, or you are capable of fighting it, casting things, whatever your jam is. You just, if you choose to just not move.
We'll see. Am I going to be able to break a tinsel garland, or should I just cut a tinsel garland? That's the question here. Are my hands free?
Your hands are free.
Oh, well, cool. Sweet. Okay, so it's like
It's not made its way up that far up yet. It's just got your
Maybe
legs
it's
right
like-
now.
cool. So it's just like Luke in the ice cave kind of situation. Sweet. Cool. I will mm, yeah, I don't trust me to be able to break it because that was embarrassing. I'm going to try cutting it with a dagger. So I look like a very thwarted dad on the day that shall not be named morning, trying to like just get into the freaking Mattel box because those are
Yeah.
rigged and you know it.
Oh, absolutely. They are part of the war.
Mm-hmm.
They
Why does
hide
it need
so many
all those
things.
pieces of tape and the weird little plastic doodads and the twisties? All right, look. All right, so
But
I'm
you
gonna
know, it's
attack.
our side that came up with that, right?
We did.
Oh yeah, it's the best. It slows them down so much.
Oh my god. Okay, well that's fair then.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Does a oh wait inspiration? I would like to get out. I'm going to add the inspiration to that because it was.
Also give me an Arcana check.
Ooh.
Oh no, I'm scared. I've already
Good.
rolled. I rolled the hit. Should I roll inspiration first or Arcana? I'm scared.
You should roll the Arcana before you choose to use the inspiration. I'm
I
throwing you
will.
a bone here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
A
Appreciate
big
it, merciful
spooky
DM.
bone.
Oh my god, it sucked so bad, DM. It was a 6.
That's okay.
I mean, like, could I opt to use the inspiration on the Arcana?
If you want, I have not given you the results of either roll, so you can use it.
Add it to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
I'm gonna add it to that Arcana.
Okay.
Because that was real sad, yo. It's still sad. It makes
Oh
it a total.
no!
Still makes it a total of 7. But when I sliced it with my dagger, I got a 15.
You start cutting away at this with your dagger, and it feels like every piece that you cut through, there's just another one that starts kind of like doing things. You're not super good with this kind of magic. This is not the kind of magic that you're particularly attuned to, but you do start thinking about times that you guys have run into like turbulence in your airstrikes. And usually it's not like, you'll run into like, a bunch of freaking Christmas doves that come flying in to strafe on you, or
Partridges,
there's like weird
doves.
yeah
What's
yeah
with all
just
the birds?
so many birds all the time, the weird hens with the French accents that are super obnoxious, and it almost always they're being sent or summoned or called by someone else.
Yep. Do I have a free action to yell at my teammates?
Yeah. Talking is a free action as long as you keep it short.
Yo, there's a mage in here. Sawing.
And as you yell that, conveniently, you and where's my little thing? You and Jack are at the right angle that you see a flash of movement as something comes out, starts to come out of the opening of the igloo.
Ooh. How far are we away from the igloo?
You are. Let's see, if you were curving around the edge, I'm gonna see. How far did you get? You're about 45 feet, I'm gonna say. And that is going to be the turn of the thing emerging from the igloo. You see.
It's the title of a scary movie. Yes.
It is the worst horror movie when we mash 2 holidays together and then make it D&D.
It's the sequel of The Thing, is what it is.
What you see coming out of this igloo is a very androgynous, anime character looking, like very tall, very scrawny, just like full like suit, just kind of made of ice. It's just like completely conformed to their body, big like spiky frost-bitten hair, literally frosted tips, honestly.
So Tilda's
Amazing.
With like a cast of ice over it. Kind of has a little bit of that same like emo brood vibe that Sphinx does, but all in tones of like blue.
Into
Blue
it.
lips, blue eyeliner, this
Okay,
like
yeah.
frosty hair. And
yeah.
as this figure emerges, they emerge out. They like reach their hand back, and like floating out of the igloo into their hand comes this big long staff that's got like the red and white candy stripe and a big golden ball that's like crackling with like frosty energy. It looks like a cold beer glass that you've pulled out of the freezer. It's got that like
Amazing.
that just like flies in their hand, and they look and they're like, this is very not the reason for the season. Fling out this staff, and they are going to what are they gonna do? Fling out the staff, and this staff starts to like crackle and just coats itself in ice.
Oh shit. Like, I know this is a bad person, but Nas is very much into this.
I as a GM am cursed that unfortunately all of my bad guys are very predictable but very hot.
Why do you make hot bad guys?
I'm sorry.
I'm not complaining.
It was not my intention. It just happened, okay? They're very cool,
Hooray.
man. They're cool as
Hooray.
ice.
Nice.
So that
Good
was
pleasure.
their turn, is throwing out a spiffy one-liner that's gonna bring us to Insala.
Nice.
Oh, well, Itzala is going to let that green glow drop.
Okay.
And instead, she's going to bring her hands together and say, boom. And suddenly, 6 giant candy corns are orbiting around her.
It's
And
just so creepy.
she is going to take 2 of those candy corns and throw them at this dude.
Okay.
And he
I'm
needs
delighted.
to make a dex save, DC 16.
Damn, did I the question is, did I make a guy with dex? Did I give the dude dex?
I know I didn't.
It doesn't matter with that roll. Do your damage. They
Alright.
fail.
So the first one is 7 points of
Okay.
fire damage. And
Oh no!
the second
Fuck!
one is 3 points of fire damage. So 10 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Oh, no. You
Yeah.
solved my Jack Frost puzzle.
You throw a bunch of fire at this dude, and like, see, like, it slams into this dude who looks very taken aback, and is just like, that is so uncool. Because it's fire. Like, why the fuck would you do that? It's fire. Come on,
man.
Really? Jack, that's gonna be your turn.
Okay. Man, what do I do? Do I get the sense that that was the one trap, that if I keep going, there won't be another one?
What is? Give me an Arcana roll.
Oh boy.
This is a freebie.
Nat 1 -1.
Oh my god.
With a flat 0, you've got no idea.
I would love to get up within 30 feet, and I will go right through whatever area.
Cool. What is your movement speed?
30.
Okay. You're only gonna be able to get about 20 if you cut as you cut through the tinsel, and you just find it's not wrapping itself around you the way that it is Nos, but it's like tripping you up.
It's like difficult terrain.
Yes. In
Okay.
mechanical terms, it is difficult terrain for you.
Got it. All right. If I'm within 30 feet, I would like to cast Thorn Whip.
I
A long.
Yeah, you can get like just to the edge of 30 feet.
Yeah, let's see.
Get
So
over
instead
here.
of a thorn, like it's not going to be total thorn, it's going to be like a pumpkin patch vine that
Yes.
jumps out from the ground right next to him, and it's going to make. I guess I'll make an attack roll for it.
Yes.
Bibbity bobbity boo, bitch.
That is a 12 to hit.
That will not hit.
Dang it.
Okay.
Finally, somebody who has armor on made it to the fight.
They have more armor than me, god dang it.
All right. I think it stays there though, right?
I think
Well,
so.
it's a cantrip,
Sure,
so I
why
guess I
not?
could. I mean, it's a cantrip. I can recast it.
I am all for the sentient vines that are just sort of hanging out, waiting to be commanded.
Yeah, and then for my bonus action, I would like to use my Furbolg magic to, as a bonus action, I can magically turn invisible 4 times for a long rest.
Yep.
Until the start of my next turn, or until I attack. So I would like to disappear.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. You vanish. Dude kind of looks around, is like, you guys are really uncool. You're starting to catch on that dude does not have a lot of catchphrases.
He's getting less hot. Okay.
Every time you open your mouth. Sphinx, that brings us back around to you.
So pretty.
Around to whom?
Sorry, to you, Sphinx.
To me, Sphinx.
To you, Sphinx, with Nos on deck.
All right.
I can sometimes read my own handwriting to remember what order we're in.
Can I get to within 60 feet?
Absolutely, because you were already moving, and you're kind of cutting the shorter route between where the sickening radiance was and the tinsel. So yeah, you can easily get within 60 feet.
I'm gonna start. Kind of like I have a hand drum that's kind of artfully stitched to my leg, so I can kind of like tap on it, keep my own rhythm.
Hell yeah!
And I'm gonna start mouthing the words to a song.
Oh.
And Jack Frost over there is gonna hear the Marilyn Manson version of "This Is Halloween" echoing around their head.
Yes. Okay.
In a very discordant, dissonant whispers kind of way.
Okay.
Amazing.
This requires a wisdom save of 16.
Oh, goody. My favorite. That, unfortunately for you, is a natural 20.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
You see him sort of like kind of do a little of this and just be like, this is not the appropriate music for the season. What is wrong with you people?
But you still take half damage.
I will still take a bunch of damage. It's still unpleasant for him.
So I have extra d6s. I know I do.
Yeah, this is my cube of d6s specifically for moments.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 3d6. Boo. All right, so half of 10 is they take 5 points of psychic damage from.
Yeah, he's not into it.
My rockin' cover.
Go ahead and make me a quick perception check.
Sure. Perception.
It's a little fun one for me.
Perception. La, 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 la.
1, 5, 15.
15. You see that the frost mage is like not into this song and like, it's taking a little bit of damage, not as much as you hoped. You do notice that the staff in his hand seems to sort of be like ticking in rhythm with your drum.
That good or bad? The staff. The
There you
staff
go.
feels my vibe.
The staff seems to feel your vibe, which is a weird observation to make, but maybe it doesn't matter. That we're
I
to
mean, it's a
Nos.
killer tune, so
It is a pretty sick beat.
Oh God. Okay.
that is the end of my turn.
Wonderful. That'll be
Huh.
Nos, and
Okay.
it's all on deck after the Frost Mage.
Okay. About how far did I get before I got wrapped up? Like, how close am I to this frosty mage dude?
Because he has now closed some distance coming out of the igloo and
Mhm.
summoning his staff and everything.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. Where did I put? I'm gonna say he's within 30 feet of you at this point. His
Interesting.
intelligence is not his high stat.
Oh, he's pretty. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's very pretty.
He's a TikTok boy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
More villains in D&D should make a point of standing 35 feet away from everything.
boy, wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah. Anyway, he is not though.
So I'm frustrated and I'm less inclined to hang upside down listening to this pretty person because as soon as they started opening their mouth, it was less attractive. So I will take my dagger and I'm just like, hoo-yah! I just kind of like shuriken it at him.
Yeah. Okay.
See if I can hit him.
Yeah. You
Let's
can
see.
always follow his Instagram later. There's no talking involved there.
I mean, like, if I collect a soul, I'll ask it, like, what's his Instagram handle? It's fine.
There we go.
All right. Ah, yes, that was a natural
Nice.
20. That is a
will
26. Yay. Hooray. And that will mean that he gets hit with 25 points of damage.
Holy moly.
Did you
That
get
is
sneak attack?
So
Was he
much
engaged with someone else?
No. I don't
No
think
one
he's
else.
engaged.
No one else is quite close enough for sneak attack to count. But that's okay because you still do an absolute
Yeah.
shite ton of damage. And you see this dagger hits him. He's like, "Oh my god, what?" Drops to his knees very dramatically, like an anime protagonist, and you see Frost start to just like work its way like up his body and almost like freeze him over.
Mm-hmm.
The staff in his hand is still bopping.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you see the staff flies out of his hand, hovers next to him, circles around him, pops him on the head. The ice shatters, and he sort of shakes his head like, "That was really not fun, man. Okay, I'm not playing around anymore." And he starts to get back up.
Excuse the ever-loving Hades out of me. What in the great pumpkin do you think you're doing? Normal people stay dead.
Do we?
It's not bake the hall in the candle of her brain. It means break the ball in the handle of her cane.
Thank you. It was, great.
Callback.
That was very good.
Wow.
It's all that is your turn as you see the frost mage standing back up, and now the staff is just hovering next to them.
Well, I don't like this. And she will reach out. There's still 4 candy corns circling her.
Yes.
She will reach out with one hand, say tickle tickle,
I hate
and
it.
cast
God.
chill touch on the mage.
Okay.
So that is
The con save for me.
where is that? That is, I need to roll for that.
You need to roll for that. Okay.
All right.
I used to have all of these things memorized.
So that is 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And so that's going to be 2d8 damage, which is 9 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then that staff is within 5 feet of him.
Yep.
So she's going to point towards the staff, and 2 more of the candy corns go to the staff and
Okay.
impact it and explode. So he still has to make a dex save. And I don't know if the staff gets a dex save.
The staff does, in fact, get a dex save. So, the mage got a 10,
Okay.
I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, the mage got a 10. The staff got a 15.
And the save was a 16.
Beautiful. Nobody passes.
And I don't know if you want to roll a dex save for each of the 2 candy corns, or if you want to...
Sure. It's
Okay.
easy enough. They both fail again.
All right. So that is 9 points of fire damage to each of them.
Ow! Stop throwing fire at my frosty characters.
It's not cool, man.
It's not cool, man.
You need to chill.
Damn it. Cool. Great. That's ow. You see as either Mage was like starting to get up, gets slammed with this like exploding fiery candy corn. Does it like pop into like candy popcorn?
It looks like
Something.
little sprinkles.
Oh, there we go. Love that. These sprinkles like fly up and kind of like hit him in the face, and he sort of like staggers a little bit, so it's delayed him getting back up. And you see some of that ice that covered the staff starts to kind of like melt away a little bit. And that brings us to Jack.
All right. I reappear at the beginning of my turn.
Yes.
And I would like to cast Toll the Dead. As I point at him with my giant pumpkin head and I reach out with
Yes.
my pumpkin orb.
Does it sound like tubular bells, like the Exorcist theme or something?
Oh, 100%. And he must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 2d12 necrotic damage. I'm assuming he's missing some hit points.
Yeah, he's missing some hit points.
And that is a 17
yeah, he
wisdom
fails.
save. Okay.
I'm rolling. You do that. I'm gonna get my dice jail in here because this one's
Luckily, I rolled like shit on my damage, so it's only 9 necrotic damage.
Oh, thank you for doing me a solid on that. Great.
Oh, dang.
That one's going into dice jail.
What you doing?
Wow, you guys are racking. Cool.
I'm still hanging upside down. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just
And I
chilling in
will-
the tinsel.
I think I'll stay there. I think that'll
Actually-
be my turn.
Yes, I apologize. This was an error on my part. You are no longer entangled in the tinsel because it went away when he died.
Oh.
He died?
Because
Oh,
Wait,
when he
but
died
he's
and came
back.
back.
because death breaks concentration. So I apologize. That was my bad.
I feel better now. Thank you. Okay. I am not completely
I will-
clueless. Got
I
it.
was gonna say I will let you have some bonus sneak attack or something on your next turn to make up for the fact that you didn't get to move on your last one. That was my bad.
It's all good.
Or actually, no, you would have. Okay, because you got whatever. We'll figure it out. You guys are whipping his ass. It doesn't matter that much. Wild. Great. That was Jack. That brings us back around to Sphinx.
Sphinx. About how close are Sphinx?
If you have continued moving, then I will say that you can probably get to him on this turn if you want to. You were probably within
All right.
30 feet.
Because I would like to then like look like I'm gonna take a running start, go like 2 steps, and then there's just gonna be feathers, and the Raven Queen herself is going to bless me with Misty Step, and I'm going to teleport directly behind him.
You are the emoist of emos, and I love it.
Yeah. Dang. All right.
Yeah.
While
there's-
I'm back there,
just
I'm
appear behind
going
him.
to cast Burning Hands on
Okay. Let's see, burning hands. I need to.
With my thumbs are touching and my fingers are spread. It kind of looks like that drawing from the crow.
Oh my god!
And a thin sheet of flames will shoot forth.
And burning hands is a cone, right?
It is a cone, yes.
Great. That means you're gonna catch the staff too. So I'm gonna roll for
yes,
both
I
of them.
am.
I'm gonna initiate some new dice here and see if they treat me better than my beloved skull dice.
Save. It is a dex save.
Okay.
Oh no.
The ice mage fails, but the staff rolled a nat 20 on the new dice. So
nice.
my
Good
first
job.
roll ever with these dice. So
Congratulations.
I'm sorry that it was against you, but I do feel very blessed in this moment. Thank you for coming
That
to
is
my TED Talk.
Hashtag blessed.
It's nice.
So the mage will take full damage.
Oh my
god. 13. And the
Okay.
staff will take half of that.
Cool. Great. Wonderful. Love it so much. You put your hands forward and this cone of fire blasts out. I'm assuming it looks fully desaturated. Or
It
is this like
actually
your
has,
one
like,
pop
that-
color?
It's purple.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Black and gray, and then it's just got this like kind of purpley flame action going on, and it's just gonna like just
Yeah.
cover this. Yeah.
This purple flame blasts out from your hands as the last couple of feathers sort of like flutter through the air and are caught on the cold winter breeze. And you see this flame hits this mage like in the back, and he just sort of like full like that full like just like juts forward like drops to his knees again. You see like the like perfectly frozen frosted tips just start like melting and dripping into like bad haircut territory, and like everything
dude.
just starts getting wet. He just kind of looks now like a bro who got pushed into the pool.
Aw,
As everything
dude.
just gets wet, and he's just like, no, I can't be seen at a holiday party like this. Face plants into the snow. The staff, you see that like icy coating that was covering it really starting to drip off. Now it's more like condensation as your frosted glass from the freezer gets warm, and it's like dripping and wet, but it's still up. And if you could imagine a staff like turning around to look at you, that's essentially the movement that it makes. It's
Being
this
all
like
offended.
weird sort of like slow spin. Oh yeah, like it is very offended at what you have just done.
How dare?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wildest stat block I have ever found in a thing.
Amazing.
Nos, it's gonna be your turn. The frost mage is fully down, but the staff is still hovering in the air, glaring question mark at Sphinx.
Okay, so my question is, if Frostmage is down, is he dead, or is he mostly dead, and this stick is going to resurrect him again?
You're not sure. Would you
I
like
was-
to make some sort of check?
I was curious if he was ripe for the harvest or not.
You can sense with your just innate understanding of that you could
Mhm.
absolutely grab his soul if you wanted to.
I'm gonna sip him like a Sanderson sister real quick because
Yeah.
that's a reaction. So I'm just
Totally. Yeah, you just like you get this like perfect little like snowflake just sort of appears in your
It's
hand.
so pretty. Just gonna stick it to my vest real quick.
Yep.
Cool. Well, then I've got a stick to worry about.
Yes, you do have a stick to worry about.
All right. I will try and attack this stick. I have concerns about this. I'm going to swing at it with my rapier,
Okay.
which Katie doesn't think is a good idea, but Nas thinks this is excellent. So we'll try it.
Yep, you absolutely get sneak attack because Sphinx is right there. So,
Oh, shit.
so you know.
Cool. Cool. And sneak attack applies damage. It has nothing to do with the actual hit roll. Or does it?
No, it has to hit.
What
has
if
to.
you
If you
hit, then you get a bunch of extra damage.
I wanted to double check. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna. So is the staff's armor class higher than 11?
Unfortunately, yes.
Fart me running. All right.
Lift by the curtain fun fact, the staff's armor class is higher than the frost mage's.
Okay. This is not cool.
Actually, it's very cool.
It's fantastic. I love it.
I'll see myself out. Okay.
So I have a technical question for you then.
Yes.
Because I could potentially do another hit with a different weapon.
The offhand attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, just curious, if I'm close enough to hit it with my rapier, that also means I'm close enough to bite a stick. So I'm just curious. Like, is the globe on top made of glass, or is it like a snowball? I'm just curious.
It looks like it's probably made of like gold or brass or some metal.
That would hurt.
The core of it,
Mhm.
you're not sure because it's painted kind of like a peppermint stick, so it might be kind of like pepperminty like the candy gnomes, or it might just be painted wood, or it might be something else entirely. If you want to try to bite it, though, I will absolutely allow that as your offhand attack because that's metal as hell.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it because I'm mad that a mother ducking stick is like whipping my ass.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Like,
we only play rule of cool here, so please attempt to bite
Amazing.
the stick.
We love this.
I'm gonna try and bite this stick.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a 21 hit.
Yes, a 21
bite the stick.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
What's your bite damage on the stick?
It's a 1d4 plus 3, so that's
Amazing.
6 bite damage to this mother ducking stick.
To the mother ducking stick.
Which means I gain back whatever hit points that I did to it.
Yes, you do. You do, in fact, get
steal
back
6 hit points from a stick.
You leech 6 hit points from the stick. So what Sola and Jack see is Sphinx like appears behind the mage and the stick, blasts them with this goth fire. Mage goes down. Stick like turns around to look, and then Nos runs up, swings and whiffs, and then bites into the side of the stick, and the stick again sort of turns around like, what are you doing?
At which point I'm just basically like,
yeah.
I believe the stick and I are both, what are you doing?
Yeah. Stick's just like, what? Well, that is the stick's turn.
Decisions.
Christmas problems require creative solutions.
Yeah.
Cool. Y'all have gotten pretty close. Everybody's within 30 feet of the stick. Yeah. No, except it's Zala.
It's all
Zala and Jack. You're
I
kind of
don't-
right on the edges.
Well, the one biting the stick is definitely within 30
I don't
feet.
like it when the DM poses the question that way.
I'm just having, again, I've been doing a lot of math and also rolling like crap, and this stick is kind of over it. So the staff is
The
going
stick is over it.
The stick is over it. The stick is going to summon an ice storm. And I need, I think, everyone except it's Sala, because where this is going to be placed. 20-foot radius is a 40-foot diameter. Yeah, I think you can only pick one between Itzala and Jack, and he's gonna go for Jack. So Jack, Sphinx, and Nas, I need you all to make dexterity saving throws as a wonderful light Christmas snow begins to fall and just like burns on contact with frostbite. Because the stick is feeling a little vengeful.
I allowed if this
May
is a
I?
dex saving throw, would this be considered an area attack?
This is an area attack. Yes.
Cool beans. Well, then we'll just see how I do on this dex saving
I
throw.
got a 17 on my dex save.
Great.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
I got an 18.
Okay.
While I'm waiting for the dice to finish, because I was dumb and
Yeah.
clicked.
Fine.
When the mage died,
Mm-hmm.
could I have activated my Mantle of Whispers?
Yes. I
Okay.
will allow that.
I have captured the mage's shadow until I use it. 'Tis not his spirit or his soul. I've captured his shadow.
I
Mhm.
do love the politics of like having the Phantom Rogue and the Whispers Bard that are like parsing out the like pieces of the essence.
Every part
Very
of the
good.
mage goes to use. Okay.
We do not
All right.
waste in the
Yeah.
hollows.
We use
We do
every
not.
part of the mage.
Look,
Alright.
death is a natural part of the cycle, and we
Mhm.
just return it back into the cycle over and over and over,
Over
again.
and over.
We need some
My save
fertilizer
was
for
an
my
18.
pumpkin patch.
Your save was an 18. Great. Fuck all of you. Everybody passed, so you're only gonna take half of my very good damage roll.
Evasion, so I take none of it.
God damn it! Nos takes none of my very good damage roll. And the other two of you are going to take 7 rounded down to 3 bludgeoning damage and 19 rounded down to 9 cold damage. I rolled
So, funny
3
story.
6s out of my 4. Yeah, which one are you immune to?
Well, since I teleported using Blessing of the Raven Queen, I'm resistant to all damage until the start of my next turn.
Ridiculous.
Great. So
you
you're gonna
get
take
5
half the
what?
half. Yeah.
So half of the half, which is how much?
That's gonna be 1 and 4, so 5 total.
Cool. Okay.
I was so worried that I had beefed up my fights too much to account for you being level 9, and you're just wrecking my shit at every turn.
I feel like it took us a really freaking long time to reckon with this mage. So, I mean, I think
Great.
you're scaling correctly here.
Fights always take longer than you think. So, yeah. That's the stick's turn.
I love that we call it a stick.
And now it's it's Alla. I really do know your names. I just can't read English. I never learned.
So,
I
okay.
wonder if sticks are ticklish. Tickle, tickle.
Oh
and
my
I'm
god.
gonna try chill touch on
Of
the,
course.
the staff.
Are your teeth still in it?
I wonder if I hear tickle tickle, do I have the ability to disengage?
It will not affect you.
Good, great.
So that is 18 to
Yeah,
hit,
that hits.
and that is 8 points of necrotic damage to the stick.
Okay.
Is it dead?
And then for my bonus action,
There it is.
I'm going
Mhm.
to use a sorcery point
Okay.
to, what is that one called? To use careful spell for my last 2 candy corns, so that my
Yes.
2 friends who are right there up in it don't get affected.
So you're just gonna hit the stick. Yeah.
I'm just gonna hit the stick. So again, for those last 2 candy corns, the stick needs to make a DC 16 dex save.
One will hit.
Okay. So on the one that hits, that is going to be 7 points of damage.
It's Alla. Describe how you destroy this stick.
Amazing.
So these 2 candy corns, giant candy corns, go rushing towards it and crash into it. one sort of tumbles to the side, ineffective. The other one explodes into shards of sharp orange sprinkles that just reach into the center of the stick and explode it from the inside out.
Yeah. You just, this stick just like shatters apart. You see the globe that was on top bursts into like a bunch of glitter and just kind of like wafts down. The stick itself kind of like, into like toothpicks essentially, because of your careful spell, Nos, even though you were kind of like holding onto it, it just sort of like erupts around you. You are unharmed, maybe a little disconcerted by all the flying wood. It's a little
I don't get any glitter on me, do I?
Oh no. Mistakes.
I will say again, because of the careful spell, that there's almost like a void between that and probably like a little waft of like feathers just sort of like rushes in front of you, as even the Raven Queen is like not gonna do glitter, like absolutely, like she loves chaos, and even this is like absolutely not doing that game.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of glitter. As this staff erupts and is destroyed, and you see that the lake, from the edges and from that center where the bonfire had kind of started, starts to very rapidly, the ice starts to very rapidly melt.
Amazing.
And as you look over, you do see like popping up out of the water two heads, two more like like very beautiful women, or at least their eyes and noses are like gorgeous, with just this crazy long hair kind of swirling around them, and they sort of pop up, and one of them just like gives you the thumbs up, like up above the water. And then you see them go swimming off towards the mouth of the river.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
I will drop the bonfire.
Okay. Yeah. And for a moment, all is calm. All is bright.
Oh God.
And you look around, you're like,
How's
wait
the
a minute,
Christmas tree
no.
farm looking?
Christmas Tree Farm looks immaculate.
Burn it.
Really?
We hate that.
Yeah, we don't like that.
We hate that for you.
And as you kind of look around, so the lake situation seems to be getting resolved. The Rusalka are getting the hell out of Dodge. This is not they are an advanced stealth team. They do not do this kind of combat. They're just going to get the hell out of here. But as you look around, the snowdrifts still seem perfect. The lights in the evergreen trees still twinkle. This doesn't feel right. And as there's this kind of moment of calm, you listen and you hear jingle bells
Oh no.
coming from inside the trees. And there's something else going on here. And we're going to find out what that is after like a quick 5-6 minute break.
Oh my God.
Get a drink, take a quick break, and we're going to come back and see if we can figure out what to do about this goddamn Christmas tree farm.
Dang it.
Encroaching on my apple orchard and my
How
pumpkin
dare you.
patch.
How dare.
So we will be back in about 5-10 minutes, somewhere in that range. We'll see you soon, folks. And we're back. Thank you for sticking around during our break. This is the second half of our meme of the month, where the Goth kids hold the line. And let's continue on with our story.
So you all, after completely decimating with no problem my candy gnomes, have just defeated the frost mage and their sentient stick? Question mark?
Their disco stick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it was anymore because it's definitely gone now.
Oh my god. Hang on. Was it the North Pole?
It was meant to
Son
look
of
like
a
the North
gun.
Pole.
All right.
Look,
Nice.
I'm not saying this was a good idea. I'm just saying it was a
No, I like it.
strongly
Now-
thematic one.
I'm distraught now because I'm like, what are the implications of destroying the North Pole?
You know,
Oh, God.
what does it matter as long as you hold the line? Anyway, but you have defeated the very hot anime protagonist Frost Mage with the very bad catchphrases and their very grumpy sentient stick. However, the lake has begun to melt. The Rusalka sisters seem to be on their way to be reunited with Private Svrotchka. However, the Christmas tree farm still seems perfectly intact. And as you look over to it, the lights are still twinkling. There is this gentle, like perfect, like dusting of snow over these thick evergreens. And you just hear the faintest sound of like jingle bells coming from within the trees.
Oh, shit. No.
Speaking of lines, Sphinx is gonna be all like, hold up. I volunteer to go behind the lines and see what's up.
Or.
And
Mhm.
with a really kind of very Bill and Ted, like diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo. Suddenly
Oh, dear.
Yes.
the Frost Mage is once again standing in front of you,
Ooh.
Very cool. Very cool.
as I have
Nice,
worn
nice.
their shadow.
So,
Come to look at Nas and go, catchphrase.
oh, gag. Oh,
It's like you're the same person.
oh, God. I can't believe I thought that was attractive. Oh, whatever. It's fine. Well, I've
Okay,
got,
what are you talking about?
I pull out of my little tactical vest pockets, like the little snowflake and the peppermint. I was like, we could literally ask these two dudes, like what they were doing behind the line. Maybe they'll tell us the truth. Maybe they won't. But I can ask first.
Location better, so I'll know where to go.
I'm more concerned about the fact that all this is still intact, which means that there's something bigger than just peppermint gnomes with a mage.
Right.
Yeah, whatever's
So-
causing this, it's powerful. That's a pristine
powerful.
Christmas tree farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be some fierce competition for me if we don't get it out of here.
Them
We
some
got
blue
fire.
spruce.
We got fire for days.
I want to.
God damn.
I want to reach into my pouch and pull out a little bit of talc and powdered silver and rub it between my fingers and say, peekaboo. And I cast see invisibility on myself.
Okay.
So for an hour, I can see invisible things
Nice.
and I can see into the ethereal plane.
I like
Okay.
it.
Cool. Yeah, you do, just because you can see into the ethereal plane, you do definitely see that sense, because the ethereal plane is sort of mirrors the material plane a little bit, and you can definitely see, this is probably a thing you've seen before, that like the ethereal plane is almost like a watercolor version of the material plane. It's a little bit impressionistic, whatever, and you can see that it just sort of seems to be like flexing a little bit, like it's like it is unsettled. This
Mhm.
is like the magic push and pull of the hollows versus the Xmas forces is kind of warping it a little bit. It's not something that's going to be a distraction or anything, but you notice and you're like, yeah, no, like the ethereal plane is also not pleased with this turn of events. I feel like I am obligated to offer this to you, Nos.
Mm.
You have your little peppermint, you have your little snowflake. Did you wish to also capture the stick?
Can I capture the stick?
The stick is its own sentient object, so you would have been able to, and I did not think this is the moment, but you would be able to if you would like to.
I love
I
this.
I have a feeling that I would like to talk to the stick because the mage was dumb as a bag of rocks. So
Again, int was
The
not the
phrase
mage's
is
high
wet
stat.
sneaker full of rocks.
Sneaker.
it's a bag of rocks because it's a Charlie Brown trick or treat reference.
If anybody wants meme of the month merch, I propose that as a good high candidate for options. Yes. So Nas, we can say that you also were able to do this, and you have basically like a brass coin that says "I visited the North Pole" on it.
In here, cool, sweet, cool. Why don't we start with the gnome, and I'm gonna like basically just like bite the peppermint in half to release the spirit, and then I get to ask it a question. Let me make sure I do this right. Okay. I can ask the spirit. I don't have one question. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, you crack this peppermint, you like bite it in half, and the little like wispy like outline of this little peppermint gnome sort of like hovers in the air in front of you, like, oh my gosh.
Why did you bring a mage with you?
Just following orders. We were told to bring the mage with us to pave the way.
That's one question. So I don't think I get to ask it more than one. I just kind of cool.
Pave the way for what?
Or who?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. We're asking dumb McHottie for
Dumb McHottie, the frost mage.
I'm
going to be very certain that I am standing behind Nos at this point.
Looking like, oh my god. Okay.
Looking like the mage that is being questioned.
Very good.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to work Sephiroth and Frost into the same name. It's not working. Okay.
I have just decided this is my next D&D PC now is Dumb McHottie, the Frost Mage. So
very good.
I look forward to the text chain. Okay, so I break the snowflake now.
Crack the snowflake. The like wispy form of this very hot anime protagonist Frost Boy appears, and just kind of like looks at you, and then sort of like looks at Sphinx, who is them, and just kind of like deep concentration brow of trying to figure this out, but does not say anything.
Damn, he's still hot. It's hotter when he's wispy. Okay. All right.
You're not wrong.
Unfortunate side effect.
Okay. Who were you sent to pave the way for?
Dude, the commanders told me that it was time to make a real show of force and that I was supposed to pave the way for the major.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and all of his carpenter friends. All right. Fine.
A bunch of woodchucks pop out of the trees like, you called? Oh, never mind. Wrong campaign. Disappear.
Yes.
Amazing.
A swarm of Roombas goes by in the distance.
So exciting. Yay. Meme Town is a great place to live. I will pop this brass coin. I will bend it.
Yeah. A wispy spectral version of the North Pole appears in front of you. Sentences that only make sense in TTRPGs.
Now the real question is, like, does anybody like speak Blinky Light or something? Because this thing ain't got no mouth.
Well, I do have a lot of languages. It might translate.
Okay, I like that. Stick thing. Where is the major?
You see the wispy stick sort of like swirls around, and the like head of the staff where the brass ball was points directly into the Christmas tree farm, and you can see, like, following the eye line of the direction that it's pointing, you can now see that there is like a little bit of a gap, almost like a little bit of a path it was kind of hidden behind that like igloo snowdrift where the mage was camped out.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you guys are all standing here and you're looking, you can see it's kind of indicating that.
I should have asked who the major was.
I don't think
Just
it would have been
weird.
able to
I
answer.
think we know.
Do we? Because there's a difference between major and general, and then like commander.
Guess
Who would be the major?
I think there's
Oh, no.
one way to find out. We got to go in there and stop them.
Pardon me. All right. Fine.
Is there anything left of the stick?
There's a bunch
Like,
of like
was
physically
it just the ball that exploded, or was
the ball exploded into glitter. So there's glitter on the snow, and there's like sharded pieces of the stuff.
All right.
So you could like, it might make Nos a little uncomfortable, but there's like big fragmented wooden shards that you could pick up if you wanted to snag.
No, I was just
physical
going to try
piece.
to add some realism to my costume.
Oh, sure.
Well, I'll tell them to I don't know, be quiet or hide or something. I'm gonna reconnoiter. That's a word, right?
It is now. You used it in a sentence, so. All right, so you are going to make your way into
and
the Christmas tree
Frost
farm.
Mage, Hottie Mc
Yeah.
Frost Pants. What did we say?
That's it now.
Dumb McCotty.
Dumb McCotty. That was it.
Dumb McCotty.
Yeah.
Dumb McCotty McFrostpants is gonna go.
A double Mick. Jesus.
Oh. Yeah, you make your way through. As you start to weave your way through the trees, where does everybody else want to be? Again, compared to like the big scary trees of your normal forests, there is like dense cover in this Christmas tree farm because it's full evergreen pines. So do you guys want to go? Do you guys want to follow? Do you want to spread out? How much are you splitting the party versus staying together? Like, just so that I have the mental map.
I will follow behind Sphinx, who's just disguised, and I will cast Disguise Self as part of my Furbolg magic.
Okay.
And I look about 3 feet shorter than I was, which was about 7 feet tall. So now I'm about 4 feet tall, and I look just like a little Christmas elf.
Cool. Yeah, sort of riffing off of what you've seen from like these candy gnomes or something. So you're a little bit taller and a little bit more humanoid, but
like what a Halloween town person would think of is that sort of Christmas elf looks like, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's
You're
a little
elf on
off.
the shelf, aren't
Oh
you?
yeah.
But it's just a little.
You are 100% like a slightly fucked up elf on the shelf.
Yeah, it's like
God.
just like that looks. It looks a little bit off, but all of us are like, "Oh, it's perfect," because none of us.
Yeah, no.
know.
As far as you guys are concerned, you're like, that it seems fine. I'd fight it. Yeah, sure.
That looks Christmassy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Question, DM, that I didn't think about asking before we started playing this game.
Whatever.
Can I do the thing like in What We Do in the Shadows where I just like bat?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
We've established you were part of the air team. I will say that we talked about you possibly playing werewolf, in which case I was going to give you basically like a once a day wolf Hulk out. So we'll say this is your like once a day freebie. I can just be a bat at whatever time of day that I want.
Cool.
So
Cool. Okay. That way I can fly through the cover.
Yeah. I will say that like you can't really fight in bat form. You essentially have bat stats, but you can stay in it until you decide to drop it. So
yeah.
And then I have a technical question as well. My incorporeal movement. Am I silent when I do that? And can I just
Absolutely.
do that all the time?
Yeah, no,
Then I'm
like
just
the
walking
yeah,
straight
you
through
can just
the
straight
trees.
through the trees. The only key for you with the incorporeal movement is if you end your turn like standing in a tree, you will take some damage potentially for it. So, get to a clearing first.
Mhm.
But otherwise, yeah, you can just like move directly through the trees.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay behind because I've got some good range, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk quietly through the trees.
Cool.
Literally.
This wild procession of Dumbicati McFrostpants, creepy Christmas elf, their bat buddy, and the little ghost girl makes their way through the trees into the Christmas tree farm. It makes you deeply uncomfortable on like a spiritual level. There is so much joy and merriment just imbued into these pines that it's really unpleasant. But this is why you are the spirit squad. You are the elite team. You will do what needs to be done.
We'll get through it.
You just don't have to like it, and you can go get drinks afterwards. You're pretty sure that those Rusalka make some amazing cocktails because boy
Oh,
howdy,
they
you'd
do.
have to when you live in a river with no clothes on. So
I've got a good cocktail menu back at my place too. So
yes,
Oh
no,
my
the apple
Your
orchard,
spiked cider.
New life
Amazing.
goals. New life goals. Drinks. You can make it, baby.
you make your way through these trees, and as you kind of like weave through along this little like semi path, you suddenly find that in the midst of these trees there is this beautiful little clearing. There are little twinkle lights strung over the top in this like zigzag, sort of creating a canopy of glow. There are little jingle bells and ornaments sort of hung on these garlands, kind of surrounding, making this a little like gathering place. There is an arch of mistletoe artfully placed in the center, and you see standing in the middle of this clearing are the two most blandly, generically attractive brunette white humans you have ever seen in your life. There's a man about 6 feet tall, very average, very clean cut, wearing red and black buffalo plaid with a puffy black jacket over it.
if it was a little more fall aesthetic, I'd be fine with it, but it's a little bit too much. I'm just off of that.
Yeah, and he's standing next to a woman who is about 5'6" with long brown hair that is perfectly coiffed down her back with this little like wool like green wool coat that's kind of cinched around.
God, not a
and Ugg
peacoat.
boots, fur-lined Ugg boots, clearly. She's got like they're like leggings, but they must be fleece lined because it's very cold here. He's wearing jeans and like work boots, and they're sort of like standing. She's got a hand on his chest, he's got a hand on her shoulder. It is truly the most sickening sight you can imagine.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to let everybody, as you walk up to this, make a quick perception check to see.
Don't push the
I
button. We'll be
was
here all week.
so, as soon as you started describing twinkle lights, I was like, please no, don't.
I got a 15.
Somebody's taking a Christmas card picture. You said perception?
Yes, please.
17.
17.
15.
Okay, 2 15s and 2 17s. Great. You all notice that this entire thing is horrific and unsettling, and just you do not want it anywhere near the borders of your lands. This is obscene.
It's an abomination.
The one thing that you notice that is just like a little off, like a little funky, is that there does seem to be kind of a glow that is emanating from this couple that is not just the like glow of love and joy and happiness, nor just the glow of the twinkle lights above them. There is like a little bit of like a red toned glow that seems to be coming from maybe somewhere like on them, like if somebody had like a glow stick or something. But you can't quite pinpoint exactly what or where it is. But you
Are they
see
moving
them.
at all, or are they?
Right now, they are standing, just barely touching, gazing lovingly into one another's eyes.
White people almost kissing. No.
I think I feel like I should probably make you all make a Constitution check to see if you vomit at how saccharine this is. But I'm gonna let you go on that
Thank
one
you.
for now.
Appreciate it.
You can all decide for yourselves how much bile you're choking back and how sweet and loving this it is. But yes, Sphinx, you are in the lead, disguised as the Frost Maid. How would you like to proceed, if at all?
I'm gonna go big or go home. I'm gonna say go with me under my breath to my
elven accomplice.
I don't know, it's not an elf on a shelf, it's a Cthulhu on a Sulu. I don't know. It's
God damn it. Submit your suggestions in chat for what we call Jack's horrible Christmas nightmare.
Yeah. And I'm going to kind of jog up and go, Chad, Carrot, I need to talk to the major.
Okay.
There's like an 80% chance you got it right.
I'm upset.
I'm
hurt. I'm physically hurt.
Chad, Karen, I need to talk to the major. Okay. That was a bold move, and I appreciate it. They like pause, like there was like a visible shift, like they're gazing lovingly into each other's eyes, and you see like the visible shift as they like have to like disengage from that moment, and they both like simultaneously turn to look at you, and they look at you. Jack, did you follow?
I did.
Okay.
I was a little bit behind.
Cool. So they look at you, and they look at Jack. And then you see the dude kind of like takes a step away from the gal and goes, I think we've got intruders here.
Oh,
boom. A fog cloud drops over the entire clearing.
All right. Okay.
And the only thing that you all see is a bright red glow emanating from where this dude was standing. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yes.
Oh my.
It was a try.
It was a good move. I appreciate the
get
boldness.
like a deception or something, you know, like
not with a creepy Tim Burton elf behind you.
It wasn't even that. We'll talk about it on the short rest, to borrow an ad pod.
You mean Chad and Karen wasn't the password?
Wildly no. 25 to 20.
21.
Ooh.
Sphinx out here for the starter. 20 to 15. Cool. 15 to 10.
13.
11.
Okay. What did you get, Nos?
I got 4.
4.
It's a little bit too much. You can't quite go in yet.
Like,
yeah, it's just so saccharine. It's really upsetting.
It's so white cishet. I can't.
It is extremely heterosexual, like to a painful degree.
Yeah.
Cool. You are currently, so this entire area is currently covered in a fog cloud, so the area is considered heavily obscured. Sphinx, you are first. You do know that you were standing about 5 feet away from both of these two people.
Do that next time. This time, I think I have to be able to see them. That I can see. vision. It's so overrated.
Who needs to see things when you can just drop fireballs everywhere?
Yeah, well, I don't have a fireball. I just have
Well-
a little bowl. I've just got my little candy corn.
Just a little bolt. Just a little bolt.
Well, you know what? If I was about 5 feet from them, then I'm gonna take a chance, take a step back, throw up my hands in symbol of the crow, and cast burning hands just directly in front of me.
That's a save for me.
That's a dex saving throw.
Gross. Thanks, I hate it. Everyone is going to pass.
That's fine. They still take 6. I don't know why I just leave them in there. Oh, garbage. 11, 3, 8. So half of 8 is 4.
As you release this burning hands, I'll say that the light of the flame just kind of cut through the fog for like a brief flash of a moment. And you and Jack, at least, who are a little bit closer, you see for just like the briefest instant that there are now these two kind of figures in the fog. One of them is about 7 feet tall and has these massive horns.
Ooh, shit.
Going out of their head, and the other one is a little bit smaller and has much smaller but similarly elegant horns. Growing. You just like this briefest flash.
It was Brad and Janet, not Chad and Karen.
That is going to be my turn. And you hear the sound of like almost like a hunting horn call, and
Great.
you all just hear galloping hooves coming closer. That is going to be Itzala's turn with Jack on deck.
Itzala is going to spend another sorcery point to cast a careful spell and make it so that the spirit squad saves, as she once again throws out her hands and whispers "haunted" and casts sickening radiance.
Oh no.
So the fog cloud now fills with the fog
just
cloud plus fills with this sickly green light.
Yeah, now all the fog's just green now.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's much better, thank you.
So that
Beautiful.
is a con save of 16 for everything that's inside except us.
Jesus. Watch my dice betray me yet again. Wow. Okay. Hold on. What's okay. You fail.
Jack, my favorite
fail.
suggestion for your
You
elf alternative
save.
is the Burton behind the curtain.
The Burton behind the curtain is very
I
like
love
that.
that. Yes.
okay. Cool. I had 2 fails and 1 save for my things.
Okay. I rolled 10, 9, 8, 7 for a total of 34.
Christ. All right.
Sorry.
Nope. That's
Wow.
good,
Chomp.
good job.
And they are now all green and glowing and exhausted.
Jesus. Okay.
I really
34
like the
you
spell.
said. This is this spell has screwed me over in multiple games. It has also saved my life a couple of times. So this spell's great. Sorry, I'm doing math to track how dead things aren't. Okay, cool. Cool. Wow, okay, that's frustrating for me. I have to roll a couple of other things really quick, but it's Jack's turn. So go ahead and take your turn while I'm rolling for a couple of other things.
All right. So the first thing I would like to do is I would like to use one of my Eldritch invocations.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually pause and revoke as the fog cloud drops. That was a terrible concentration roll.
All right.
You can still potentially do what you're gonna do, but the fog cloud dissipates. So there is now like this sickly green aura happening. But now what you see is the man you saw is now about as tall as you are in your normal form. He's about 7 feet tall. He's got these massive antlers sprouting out of his head, and you can see this glowing red amulet that he has pulled out of his shirt that is like pulsing with this like red light. And you can see about 5 feet away from him, where they kind of like stepped back from each other, that the woman who is there also has these like much smaller, more elegant antlers that have spread out of her head, and she is like spinning her hands, clearly like getting ready to like weave some kind of magic. You can also still hear the sounds of these hooves like getting ready to encroach upon you, and just at the periphery of the edge of the clearing you can see movement coming towards you.
Okay. I would, if you would let me, I would like to use Cloak of Flies.
Okay.
Once we're short rest, I can surround myself with a cloak, a 5-foot aura that is just lots of flies, which gives me advantage on intimidation checks and disadvantage on other charisma checks. And if a creature starts its turn in that area, aura takes 5 poison damage, straight up.
Cool.
I will stay in 5, make sure I'm 5 feet away from Sphinx. And then for my that's a bonus action. So for my action, I would like to use Fey Presence, which once I can, when the spirit of fall just kind of, as I change out of my elf form, I grow into this Firbolg form, a bunch of flies come out, and you can see just the spirit of fall appear behind me, and I look huge. And I would like, if you would let me, can the Cloak of Flies impose a disadvantage on the wisdom saving throw to be frightened of me?
Yes, I will. Yeah, no, I will allow this. You've painted the picture very well, and it makes perfect sense that in the you've got this now maybe rotted ethereal pumpkin head that's kind of appearing on yours. You're surrounded by these flies. This like spectral sort of like skeletal figure cloaked in autumn leaves like appears behind you. It is wildly concerning, and I will make this check. That's a
DC 17 wisdom save.
DC 17 wisdom
to become frightened of me.
And is this directed at a single creature?
It's a 10-foot cube.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot cube.
So it's gonna hit both of our two antlered buddies. Great. Let me check their bonuses to see if it matters. The guy saves, the lady does not.
That was with disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is still accurate. Wow! No, it's she rolled a nat 1 with the disadvantage. She is terrified.
Love it.
Cool. So this is the frightened condition, so that means she's gotta just run away from you on her turn.
I believe I have not looked at that in a minute.
I believe that's how it works, is she just has to run as far away from you as possible on her next turn. Cool. Yeah. She her eyes just get huge, and you see her start to kind of like tremble a little bit. And you see the dude kind of look over and just like,
it's just until the end of my next turn, but
you see that you see the dude kind of looks over and it's like, live, get it together. Nos, that is your turn.
Okay.
as Jack just became like 19 times more horrifying than usual, which is actually very like reassuring to you.
I really like it. I'm kind of like, is this God? Do I need to join a temple? Might need to join a temple.
Nels gets
like-
one level in cleric instantly.
He's the preacher of fault. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I think I know what I want to do. I was still kind of like back in the trees, all batsy. So my question for you is, does turning back into poison shape count as an action?
I will let that be a free action of just dropping the action you took.
Very cool. Here's what I would like to do. I'd like to skitter through the trees so that I am behind whom I am going to call Rudolph. And I would like to drop behind him and boom, surprise, and stab with a rapier.
Excellent. You get sneak attack because Sphinx is within 5 feet.
Nice.
So the frightened creature has disadvantage on attack ability checks and attack rolls while it's in my presence and can't willingly move closer to me, but it doesn't have to run away.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I am wanting to use an ability of mine that will make this attack hurt Liv as well.
Okay.
But let's see if I hit him first. That 20! That's a 26.
That will hit. Natural
Two.
20 will absolutely hit, no matter how good his AC is.
Nice.
Which is still not that good, but
okay.
Yes.
So regular damage. No, that also included sneak attack. Okay. So total damage on Rudolph is 31.
Jesus. Okay.
And so because I am upsetting, I would like to use Wails from the Grave to inflict necrotic damage upon his partner.
Great.
So let's
spelling is important because in my brain, this was not WAILS.
You're picturing a giant spectral Moby Dick just appearing out of
just body slams from above.
Boom. Cool. Yeah, Whales for the Grave. How much damage does that do to her?
That would be
zombie
3d6.
whales.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry,
so it'll be 3d6. So when I rolled that, it is 10 points of necrotic damage to Liv.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
I'm kind of delighted, and I disengage.
Nos, you drop behind Rudolph. Well done. You correctly identified who this was. You drop behind Rudolph. You stab into him, and you just see that pulsing light goes bright and bright and bright and bright, and then almost like the amulet shatters and explodes. You see Liv, her eyes get even bigger, which you did not think was possible because she was already terrified of Jack.
Oh, she's so doe-eyed.
Get even bigger. Yeah. And she turns and starts to try to run, and just this pulse of energy as his amulet shatters almost hits her in the back as she turns to run away. Ooh. And they both just drop to their knees and kind of just drop down. Mechanically, you are no longer in combat. You have fully wrecked them so hard that I cannot justify continuing the fight with that amount of damage. They're not dead, but they are fully incapacitated as they're just sort of on the ground, sort of panting. The sound of the hooves stop as you all turn, and you see now kind of at the periphery of the back edge of this Christmas tree grove, you see a bunch of reindeer
Oh,
who are
shit.
all like standing at the edge. They've got like jingle bell collars on and like these big dumbass looking name tags, but they've all kind of like stopped as they kind of see what happens, and they're kind of like looking at you all and kind of looking to each other. They are just, to be clear, like they are just normal ass reindeer.
Oh, thank God.
There is nothing particular but this is clearly like the master has summoned us, but the master cannot speak. Like, what do we do now? So they're just kind of like awkwardly like kind of hoofing at the ground and looking at each other and looking very confused at the edge of the glade.
Are they within the green light?
They are right at the edge of
Okay.
it. Like they were just approaching it.
And I have to ask.
Of course.
Is Liv short for all of the other reindeer?
Absolutely it is.
Stop.
So good.
Now you've given them a cute, like, from enemies to friends to lovers narrative. Why am I?
Oh, you think I
invested?
didn't write the entire Hallmark movie about Rudolph and Olive's forbidden love?
I kind of need to see the screenplay, please. Oh my God.
So we will say that for the purposes, you are out of the fight. You have defeated this battle, because I cannot in good conscience. Yeah. However, due to the magic of Christmas, these two are not dead. They are just fully incapacitated. Would you like to end them? Would you like to take them prisoner and return
Is
them
there
to the Hollows?
like a giant Christmas tree here?
Oh, there's a huge ass Christmas tree. Like
I would
right
love
on
to
the edge.
cast blight at it. At
Absolutely.
5th level, which is the level of my spell slots.
Yeah, just fully wreck this tree.
Yeah.
Is the,
Definitely.
Okay.
Is the radiant damage hurting the Christmas tree at all?
Yes,
Excellent.
the trees that are on the edge are like not in, like you can see like pine needles starting to like wither and die. So you now have a bunch of these trees that are kind of on the edges, where like half of them are this like glorious Christmas tree, and the other half is just like dead and decaying.
So that is 44 necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, you pick the
Whoa.
biggest Christmas tree in this grove and you just hit it, and it just starts to like shrivel and wither, drops all of its needles. Kind of looks like it's at home now in the dark spooky forest, as it should, where it's just kind of like dead and rotted with all these little sticks sticking out of it.
I feel good. That's good.
You can see like Liv sort of like looks up and just like big eyes, just sort of terrified at everything that's happening. Rudolph just like on his hands and knees, head down, just like kind of panting into the ground. As their antlers kind of slowly start to like glisten and glimmer and dissipate as their magic is fully tapped.
Damn, that was a good look.
Do we want to end them?
I think they're valuable sources
Or
of
we
information.
send them back as a warning.
So
I say
We
we.
can send their heads back.
I think we should take them back with us. This is the major. This is information.
Then I will drop Sickening Radiance, because otherwise they're probably going to fail that con save and take a lot more damage.
Oh,
Liv definitely will.
oh,
So
not Liv.
her con score is much lower than Rudolph's.
I'll drop my coat of flies as well, so they stop
Okay.
taking the 5 poison damage.
Great. Yeah, no. They are fully incapacitated, and you can do with them as you choose. Jack, give me a nature check real quick.
You got it.
What you concerned?
That is an 8.
8. You're a little distracted because you're dealing with this immediate problem, but you already just sort of like sense in yourself that this part of the world is starting to feel right again. Right in your sense of right. Like you
Mhm.
can see the pine trees are starting to drop their needles. the snow is beginning to dissipate into that sort of like awkward autumny slush that you're more used to. And that smell of mint that was constantly haunting the back of your nostrils has sort of dissipated, and now everything is this crisp, clean sense of decaying leaves, damp nights, but not in the snowy damp, in that like rotting, earthy damp, that petrichor of the earth after it rains.
That's the good shit.
And you can just hear like gently on the back of the wind that song, that lullaby, sung now in harmony. As you know, the Rusalka have continued up the river and are continuing their scouting missions. You stand here with your prisoners, trophies, whatever it is you choose to do with them. You know you have the upper hand at this point, and holy shit, are the Xmas forces going to pay for this one? And that is where we will end this evening's ridiculous meme.
Oh,
Love it.
Wow, you guys wrecked my druid so fast. I beefed up HP on a bunch of these characters to make sure it was actually a hard fight, and you still just like obliterated them so quickly.
I didn't even get to summon my demon.
You did not even get to summon your demon, but your familiar is here anyway. Hi, Zagreus.
Yeah.
Next time. Next Halloween
I was gonna summon a Vrock, which is like 101 hit points, like multi-attack. Like,
listen, like when we have to face the general, that's what you bring. Like somebody thump.
Little peek behind the curtain. First of all, there was a version of this where all of the all the 8 original reindeer were going to use awakened stats from Ram of the Frost Maiden. But that's like if this is the only fight you're gonna do, because that fight is gonna take 3 hours in and of itself. I had an entire lore for Rudolph and Olive's forbidden Hallmark love story.
Yes.
Which is
Drop the deets.
Stupid bananas.
I love
it.
We might have to find a way to release that to patrons.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll just do a full talk show where I talk about all of the stuff that I nixed because I was like, oh, this is gonna be an entire campaign.
Love it.
But yes, thank you all for joining me to hold the line against the insurgent of the Christmas holidays. Because we need our spooky season, and you have restored it.
Yes.
Yeah. We held the line.
Yes.
Beautiful.
All right, so just a quick wrap up because we are all from lots of different places. We'll start with Alondra. Where can people find you?
You can find me on pretty much any social media that you care to at Lady Bedivere, unless it's TikTok, where you have to put it as Milady Bedivere, Lady Bedivere, because someone's camping my username. You can also see me semi-regularly on Quests and Chaos. If I'm not in the studio, I'm probably behind the scenes helping produce things. But yeah, hit me up. I hang out. I play a lot of tabletop games, and I love doing this kind of shenanigans. So
we appreciate it. Tanya has unfortunately been hit by a coughing fit, so she says goodbye. Thank you for watching, and check her out on Twitter, where she talks about all sorts of cool stuff.
Yes.
Katie.
Hi, I am from real life, outside of screens, because this is the only place I play. And I have a Twitter, and I haven't put anything on it. So go say hi to it, and maybe I'll go back and write about shows I watch at Fiddlefox Watch 1, because apparently there's another one. Oh. But I'm mostly active on Insta, Fiddlefern90.
All right. Joseph.
You can find me on Twitter at Joseph the Newman, or other social media. I'm pretty sure that's my handle on other ones. I don't remember. Mostly I use Twitter. I use Instagram sometimes. You can also hear me on the Redacted Reports, which you can find wherever you get your podcasts. It's an actual play Delta Green show, which Alondra helps out with behind the scenes a little bit. But that's a lot of fun too. So yeah.
All right. And I am Danny. You can find me all over the internet as Danielle Lenoir, mostly on Instagram and Twitter these days. And I do want to put out a plug for one of the Majestic Goose shows that I'm very proud of. We are in the middle of October, so we are in the middle of Storytime with Silas. It is our spooky stories. We release one every Thursday in October, so we've got one more coming up. And both Alondra and Katie were voices in episodes. Oh, and so was I. I forgot about that. So I encourage you to check it out. They are short. They range from about 12 minutes to about 20 minutes. They are bite-sized and they are spooky. Apparently, I made a child cry with one of them, so that is exciting.
Life
the goal.
goals.
That's the goal.
There you go.
So, thank you all so much for joining us tonight as the Goth Kids held the line. We will be back next month, November 19th, so hopefully we will see you then. Until next time, bye.
Bye.